Boom, baby, boom. Right. And shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the mostest, Marky Saint. And this is my view this morning. Yeah. Bamboo Resort has actual bamboo. See, Bamboo Resort with the swimming pool. Chilling this morning, reflecting on my life, on my blessings, accomplishments, and detractions. I've lived a full life, and I'm here to say it. You know, you gotta live your life full. Your boy Marky Saint explained his trials and tribulations to my co-founder last night, and I was like, God damn, bro, you've lived a full life to sit there and explain like how easily I've been arrested over 20 different times, or that I've been to South Korean prison, or that, you know what I mean? Like, I've been through some things. You know, I've really been through a lot to be on this other end of my life, to sit here and be like, I formed a team like Voltron, made it halfway across the world. One came from Taiwan, one came from, well, the England one came from Taiwan, but I met him in Thailand, and he went on to Indonesia and the Philippines and Japan, and now he's here right behind me in that door. The other one is from Denmark, already visited me in Finland. I'm from America and I'm in Finland, and then I'm banned from the whole Schengen area for 3 years. And, you know, you would think that I was a bad boy, you know, being arrested so many times, or, you know, having to stay out of trouble from the police, to like even the last day that I left America, the cops were arresting me or trying to arrest me or pulling me on the on guns drawn on the hood. And a hot day, I started smoking my blunt, and I was just like, yo, I'm on my own property, bro. Y'all can do whatever you want to. And he's on some, I have an old ticket out of Henderson, some old traffic shit. And it wasn't even worth them stopping, but I got locked out of my apartment, and they throw my shit out the window, like literally out the back in the homeless alley, in three big black trash bags. After I just spent $1,000 for rent, this motherfucker threw my shit out. And then I gotta fucking get a ride. I get picked up in a Maybach the next day in London because I'm traveling. And I'm just looking at my life like, this is a full-on trip to try to explain something to somebody of, you know, the arrest and the incarcerations, and the federally arrested off the airplanes, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, all those things, you know, all these things, they add up. They add up to a full life: the good, the bad, the ugly, the halos, the horns, the mostly saints. What's up, Lynn? I see you. What up, bro? And it just goes to show you that, you know, we can all try to have a safe life. We can all try to pretend that life is supposed to be the perfect thing, but not one person is perfect. Not one person does not have cancer. Oh, Matt's is sneaking in on my live behind me. You know, not one person
I don't
gets
know
through
what we
this
did with the
life.
rest guy, last guy. He's
Who?
disappeared again, Miles.
I knocked on the door. I didn't hear from him, but his shoes are there.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You gonna go get something to eat real quick or something?
No, I have a meeting like 15.
Oh, okay. I know your meeting.
So
Are you doing
I'm,
it out here or what?
I'm doing it somewhere here because I don't get distracted.
Look up here. It looks like a good spot to get him. Yeah, go up there.
Yeah,
There's a nice
that's
little.
fine.
Yeah, there's a nice little spot. Yeah, I was thinking about going live up there. There's stairs on the outside. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. So he's got a meeting too. You smell good. This guy over here. No, no scorpions either. Last night I saw a fucking black scorpion this fucking big, bro. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Kind of played with him. My buddy thought I was crazy and shit. But, you know, when he's 27, and I'm telling him, you know, how many times I've been incarcerated, or, you know, to fly in. Like, even our flight last night, you know, it was just such a weird flight to go from, oh, it's gonna be tomorrow, and then they're like, no, we're gonna extend it out a day, and then it's gonna be at 1 o'clock. No, it's gonna be at 3 o'clock, and just things being all over the place, and then it might rain, or then it'll be a thunderstorm, or it'll be a typhoon. Our lives are coming at us in so many different angles. Not one person is going to pray for an easy life. You could look at someone's life and be envious. I was seeing a guy, dad, with a baby, beautiful baby girl. She was 9 months years old. They were eating food next to us. We finally got done with the plane. I'm eating sushi. Look, Max is up here. He's making it. Look at him. He's making it all the way up there. He's up there, bamboo, doing the tree. Doing these things, and it's just ridiculous how fast life can go. I see you, Lynn. And then he had a scar all the way along the back of his head. So it's like I could be jealous, but I don't want to be him on the day that he's in that hospital. And I didn't want to be myself when I was in South Korean prison. And I don't really get to reflect on these things that transform me, the amount of shit that I've been through, being federally arrested off of an airplane. Like, who wants to be coming back from Machu Picchu in my own country and not be free, to not be able to exercise my life to its fullest potential, even though it might have pitfalls, even though it might have homelessness, even though it might have incarceration in prison, even though things might not go my way. I still got to live my life. I didn't sit there. I'm sitting here now in my motherfucking underwear in the middle of the fucking jungle, like staying in a bamboo hut, chilling. Like what? Maybe Miles comes out too, but you want to live your life full. That's the encouragement of this morning motivation, is just to just live a full life, because life goes by so fast, and you get so distracted, and things end up happening that you don't even calculate, from the scars to the back of his head, to maybe surgery, to something not going your way. And it will it'll make your best plans laid to waste, and then you'll be like, what the fuck happened? And you know what the fuck is happening? And, yep. And then it's all a full life, like it's meant to be lived. It's meant to be dense and light and intense, and then boring, and then sometimes you're just sitting there and nothing's going on, and then sometimes everything's going on and you don't even know what to make of it. And I don't really sit there on my laurels and reflect on it enough, but to explain it to somebody unabashedly, like, yeah, I've been federally arrested off of an airplane. Yeah, I've been to South Korean prison. Yeah, I've been around the world 3 times, working on my 4th. Yeah, I've made love, almost had children, lost kids, lost hope, almost wanted to give up, but for some reason it didn't let me. Even when I was suicidal, I remember being 17, 19 years old, and pretty brokenhearted, and they wouldn't let me go to my brother's homecoming game, and I made a shirt, because it's Saints Addiction, and I wanted, and my girlfriend had a temporary protective order against me, and she was a cheerleader, so I couldn't even go on the field. The police were stopping me. I got really emotional, jumped on my dad, get off me, like I'm on top of him talking about get off me, and shit scared the fuck out of me and scared the fuck out of him. And I just ran in my car, and I was like, I'm gonna go kill myself at Hoover Dam. That's where I'm from, Boulder City. And emotionally driving, I hit a coyote, and it shocked me enough to like stop myself. It's so hard to stop ourselves. Like I was telling him, Mask gets really emotional, and it's like it overloads his system, and like you can't tell him nothing, and I'm like, relax. And the lady kept telling him, relax, like even the massage lady must have told him 10 times, relax. It's the hardest things for us to do, is to control our mind or to control our emotions and not act the way that we want to act, and counteract our instincts, our instincts to take over. And next thing you know, you're overly emotional in a relationship, or you're arguing with a loved one, or you're being mean to somebody that you didn't mean to be mean to. These things are so possible when you think it's impossible, like things to like climb Machu Picchu, or go to the Great Wall of China, or travel the world and speak different languages. I thought was impossible. But also I thought it was impossible to control my anger, or to switch my trajectory. I was such a deadhead of a stubborn Taurus bull. That's why it's mostly saints. The halo has horns, and like a train, I was on a one track train, and I couldn't stop myself. I didn't have any brakes on my train. I didn't. I thought I had the perfect life. I was a team captain on my football team. I was a team captain on my wrestling team. I tried 3 different times to take the SATs. I was a tryhard, and then all of a sudden I'm getting arrested with 50 pills and 4 capsules and 14.4 grams of methamphetamines. I start going to jail. I lost my car, condo, and girlfriend and job all in the same day. It was like all in the same week. It was so bad, and then look back at all these times and like I'm sitting here poolside, right, just relaxing. I'm the only one around. The people are eating over there. The staff is eating. Mass has got his meeting. I'm over here just chilling in my motherfucking underwear. You know what I mean? And it's just like, wow, this is my life, to go around the world. Even though I've been to jail, even though I've been homeless, even though things have kicked my fucking teeth in, losing babies, it's like all bad stuff. But I don't really live in that now. I think that's important, to live now. The power of now, that doesn't exist. I can tell these stories because I don't feel that pain anymore. I don't exist in that moment anymore. That moment has passed by. My life has gone by as well, and things have changed. It's changed me. I've changed my environment. I've changed my mindset, and I've also changed my focus. Because you can sit there and be like, okay, I'm only going to focus on what went wrong, and then they say first you go right, then you go wrong, and then you can sit there and count your blessings, or you can count your stressings. You can count or recount, like almost like a vote, to recount. Oh man, that happened, and be still in prison in your mind, or regretful, or angry. You could still live in these emotions, even though it's not in the now. All right, like right now, I'm super chill. Like I'm on stage at 12 of out of 10, just chill in my mind. Like I got enough sleep, I got enough to eat, and even though I got no money, I ain't tripping at all. I've been in some situations where I wasn't free, where I could touch the sides of my prison cell in South Korea with my elbows, bro. Not even my hands all the way up. That would have been nice to be fully wide, but it was not that anymore. This pool is wide, This view is wide open, green, nice, chill day. It's not too hot. It's nice and sunny, but it's not too hot. And I'm in the shade of my dreams. I'm at the precipice of my team coming together and us building this dream together, that we come from all over the world, 3 different continents, to be here and to live this life. I'm extremely grateful. And I thank the gods above, even for the things that went wrong, because it's easy to fucking curse your life. It's easy to be cursed and be stressed, but it's not easy to be grateful and have gratitude and appreciation for what was given to you. This is like a really strong mindset to have, but to be able to have the mindset that this worst things that are happened to us are bringing us lessons. They're bringing us peace. They're bringing us to a realization that we didn't see. It's only after the fact that I go like, okay, after South Korean prison, I started to sit there and go, this is a unique life. You know what I'm saying? This is a life where I can, you know, uh, say that I've fully lived, that I've been to this continent. He said when he first met me, he thought I was a typical non-traveling American, and I'm not. I'm not one of those at all. I've been around the world more than him. He's never even been anywhere. I'm like, you ever been to Jamaica? No. Uh, he's been to Morocco, but I've been places. I've seen things. I've done things that I never thought that I would. And there I am, sitting here at Bamboo Resort, chilling in my underwear. Like, I've lived a life full. And it's been full of trials and tribulations, things that would blow people's minds, from hanging out with billionaires to hanging out with prisoners, to meeting a millionaire on the plane who has built his own house in Thailand with beachfront property and the cars and all the things, and just traveling all the Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, not Afghanistan, but like 5 different stands. We were in Turkmenistan, and all these areas. I'm like, you got some balls, bro. Now he's invited me to go chill with him in Thailand, and it's just like, yeah, I want to go to your fucking private beach resort looking ass, fucking built your own home from scratch, got a whole, resort area and things like that. Yeah, I'd like to go see that, and yeah, I'd like to go see that life and be free. And I don't know why this lady's being loud all morning, but some people, they don't see themselves. They don't see that their life is growing. They don't see the trajectory in biology, right? In biology, it grows, right? Like you know that the tree comes down from the root. That's you as a baby, and these struggles, you can see the struggle marks of a tree, but you don't count those as your struggle marks. Why would you? You know what I'm saying? Can you? Yo, loud as fuck. Does she know? This chick's just screaming at everybody. Can you? Can you? Can you? Yo. We're on meetings. He's got a meeting here. I'm on a meeting too. Thank you. Thank you. Just being loud as fuck. And like, well, she's just screaming like everybody needs to hear her opinion. And people don't give a fuck, bro. We're here at a resort paying our dues. We don't want to hear about you. You thinking you're the main character and shit, bro. Like, we got shit to do. And that's to live our lives full and not be included in your life. You're not the main character. And a lot of people think they're the main character in other people's lives. It's not. This is my life and my life. And you're not the main character of my life. I'll never see you again. I don't need to hear your back and forth. I don't want to hear you screaming. My buddy's literally above you having a meeting, and you're being loud as fuck, bro. Like, use your inside voice, bro. Like, get some awareness. Most people, they don't understand just life includes other people, and you don't cut them off when you're going on the airplane. There was 2 Indian folks that did that. I'm like, do you guys not know what a queue is? We're all in the same tunnel. We're all about to get in the same steel tube, and these guys cut around to get ahead. And it was just like, yeah, we're gonna talk about you and your lack of discipline, and that people see that from Russians, Chinese, and Indian people, where they're all jockeying for position or trying to get ahead. And that's not what it is. It's having self-respect and dignity and ability to see yourself, to see how loud you're being, or if you're cutting someone off, or to apologize. Like, a lot of people, they'll never do that. They'll just think that life affected them, but it's how you affect your own life. That's why I'm having this conversation this morning. It's like, I could have let my life go a different route. I could have not gotten sober. This is why it's called Saints Addiction. I could have let the drugs take over. I could have, gone from the job to the job to the job. Actually, I'm an entrepreneur because I make a horrible employee. I didn't want somebody else telling me what to do and what time to be there or what time to wake up. This morning, I woke up on my own. Actually, kind of got knocked on from the 2 cleaning services and stuff. But it's one of those situations where you're gonna have to learn how to live your life fully. Like, we are all here together in this world. We need to accept people as they are, different and coming from different positions, and making different decisions, and it's coming at you at different angles. Life is gonna fucking come at you like crazy, bro. Like, when we're all got something that's gonna come to us, whether it's a car accident, a fire, a death, we don't know. But life is gonna be full, a full experience, a full range of everything. And then when you get to the tips of the tops of the trees and the bamboo, even that will die one day. So, shit, I could have died last night with that big black scorpion. If I didn't see it and I just stepped on it, it could have stung me, and this whole story would have been different. We have so many things that we try to concentrate on, but then we get distracted on. We concentrate on like how much money we have or how hard we work, but we don't get distracted on the potential of our what's the word that I'm looking at? The potential of our personality or our abilities, the ability to transform our lives and put energy into the things instead of being distracted, being appreciative, or having the abilities to make our reality out of our dreams. Like there's something there for everybody, that we have the ability to be somebody that really has something go right for them or go wrong for them. And every time you go right, then you go wrong. You're gonna think that it's like it's a plus or a minus, or it's good and evil. It's the whole I Ching. It's the whole yin and yang. It's the good and the bad. And even if you look in the good, there's still a speck of that black for the bad. And even if you look at the good, the bad, there's still a little bit of good in all of us. That's why it's called mostly saints. It's like you might be nice to one person, like I was nice with the baby and this lady right now. I'm like, here, calm down. Like we need you to like relax a lot. Trying to relax at the resort, and you're being loud screaming across the pool. No, but that ain't cool. Like, and my buddy's above you and he's trying to have a meeting. So it's like, we don't see what we don't want to see. If we raise our awareness, we can lower our heart rate. We can see that things are meant to be for a reason. I know that I am indomitable now. I can touch my heart from the start and be like, I'm indestructible. Like the telling my stories, like how many times I've been arrested and how many situations I've gotten out of and how far I've made it, was the reason I'm having this conversation this morning. It was just like, the things that should have killed me made me stronger. And that's Marcus Aurelius, and you want to be able to say that kind of things to him. It's just go like this, like, yeah, that's what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And that's what I probably should have called this morning motivation. But it's a shock to me that I still stand here. I still travel the world with no money. I still make it to the resort. I still make it to the plane. I still move forward and go after the things that are needed, and I conquer this thing called my life. I conquer, the phone getting shut off, a 3-year ban from Europe, and incarceration in South Korea, or being federally arrested off of an airplane. I'm like, these are experiences that I didn't think were even possible, and yet I'm possible. I keep saying it. I'm possible is inside impossible, but most of us will never see it unless we live it. We got to be able to experience it, and experience is the best teacher. It's not going to be something that you watch on a reel from somebody else, or something that you read in a book. No, it's going to be fucking boots on the ground, soldiering on, making sure that you move forward with your life. This is the most important thing, is that you keep moving forward. KIM, keep it moving, even if it's not the way that you wanted it to go, or it's not the way that you thought it would go, or it's not the feeling that you want to have. This is a transformative experience. Call it a notch, but look at the bamboo again. Each level is a notch, man, of growth. And it's painful to grow. It's painful to know. You got to pay the price for knowledge. That's why experience is the best teacher. You paid a pretty penny. Not only did you get it in a wrinkle line in your hair, whoa, shit, my hair just wants to go anywhere. Or maybe it's prison time. Um, you'll pay. You will pay the ultimate price for life, and it's not in money. It's an experience. It's the time spent with the pain of growth, and using that pain into fuel, and then all of a sudden you know what you're made out of. You know why you grew in that one direction. I'm looking at these trees right now and just how they've just gone all the way up and chosen this growth path. And that's how we know that we ever last. Each ring, what had happened that year and that year and that year, and maybe other people didn't pay attention around the resort, or maybe they didn't see why you are the way that you are. But everybody is a book, and they have a lot of chapters, and each chapter is growth. And that's what's amazing about it. It's like, we don't expect it to be but it can be a full life. And I've lived a full life at 45 years old, almost half my life. I've literally just said, wow, I've gone to a lot of places. I've circumferenced the globe 3 different times. I'm working on a fourth right now. The realities of being a person that goes to my own country and get incarcerated as soon as I fly back from Machu Picchu, or that all I wanted was 3 grams of weed in South Korea, but they wanted 5 years of my life, and I spent 6 months in solitary confinement in cold weather with the plastic shoes and the yakuza, and to say I've been to Jamaica and then smoke the same amount of weed and get away with it and get on the cruise ship, or not make the cruise ship when I was on the Groove Cruise, and somebody put something in my drink, or maybe I snorted too many lines, but they caught me with the cocaine, and then I was trapped in Mexico, making it up my way the Baja to Tijuana on a bus, crossing across, smelling like dog shit for 3 days, and still made it into America. Still started to eat McDonald's as soon as I crossed across, and still go all the way up to San Diego and get my things. Like this was the impossible journey. There's just no way it was supposed to go that way, but it did. And I finally got my keys, and I finally got my belongings, and even the girls brought it out to me, and they were just like, what did this guy do? I've lived a full life. That's what I've done. I can sit here and say I've lived a full life like no one I know and no one will ever know. You're the only you in the whole entire world. You're the only you that are going to have the experience that you're having. You're the only singular being that are having these emotions. Not that you're having any other emotions that other people aren't going to have. What's up, Thana? I see you. Thanks for the thumbs up. But that's your path. And you're going to have to walk it. Walk it like you talk it, Keep living. Liven. Live in. And that's what it is. It's a full life to be able to sit here in the breeze, underneath the nice clouds and a blue sky, all the way in a resort. There's a beach over there, and say, okay, I'm alive. I've lived my life. I love my life. I love my life. And him screaming Allah Akbar at the top of his lungs and on a mountain in Morocco. It's one of these things that, till you put your fist in the air and say, I won. I've won at this life. I've done something with my life. I've done something with my time. I made the most of it. And I'm grateful to see what else will come of it, to be honest. It's just like anything's possible. Anything can happen, and I've seen it happen with my own eyes and other people's lives. You can read novels. I remember with Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, or maybe your boy Sir Sir Walter Hillary, Sir, what's his name, that climbed Mount Everest the first time with his backpacker, because they both went, you know, and to achieve the highest highs, breaking 4 minute fucking miles, or climbing Mount Everest, or going deep down sea, there's all these possibilities, and all of us know what it is. So we all have to find it within ourselves to live. We all have to find it, like, make the most out of the day, make the most out of our time. Don't just sit there and be preoccupied with our emotions and our feelings. That'll suck up most of your time and effort and money. Go out there, shake a leg. You'll never know what's on your path, whether it be a black Scorpio or a scorpion on the road, or maybe it's a pothole, or maybe a plane's late, or maybe you're incarcerated. You don't know, but you're living. And that's the difference, is to get off of this thing. I'm the only one that says that on YouTube. Get off of this thing. Hey, say you give me advice. I'm addicted to drugs. I would say go for a walk. Start working out. That's what you want. If you're addicted to drugs and this is Saint's addiction, I turn all of that into my fuel. You know what I mean? My pain was turned into fuel. Instead of trying to cover it up, I went, no, man, let's put it to work. Put that pain to work. Go for a walk. That's one of the best feelings that you can have. Break the cycle. Go live your life. And that's what this morning's motivation is all about, is to break cycles, so that way you can go to another level. That I feel great inside, because I'm not chasing my high. I'm not trying to get by. I'm not trying to cover up anything. I want to feel all things and be okay with it on the inside. That's your morning motivation, baby. So, on my heart from the start, your boy Marky Saints Addiction, peace and love. And as always, Chigaton. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. The other side of fear, the other side of excuses, and probably the other side of this world. Not probably, but I was going to say probably the other side of this pool. I might go for a swim, but definitely the other side of the world because that's where I be. Peace.